better than Duryodhana, but is it really, this is Arjuna's doubt, is it really worth that so many people should be killed just for the change of the king? It may be that in our hearts some kind of ordinary greed has come that we shall be kings of the world. So if we have such a wrong desire, or they have such a wrong desire, that should we fight on these grounds? They may be overtaken by greed, but should we be like that? It's the old formula of two wrongs don't make a right. This is Arjuna's submission, that the whole family is going to be destroyed. We may be fighting for a good result, but a bad result will come side by side. There should be a good result if Yudhishthira is put on the throne, but if side by side the bad result is that the whole dynasty is totally wiped out and destroyed, is the means worth the end? Another famous moral question Arjuna is posing. Is it really worth it? So Arjuna is thinking, no, it's not worth it. Better all right, Duryodhana, he's not a good man in many ways, but the result of deposing him will be worse than letting him sit on the throne. So Arjuna is considering this. How can we say that destroying the whole family can bring any good? And he gives more reasons why. That in the next verse, Kulakshaye pranashyanti kula dharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulam kritsnam adharmo vibhavatyuta. That when the family is destroyed, with the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion, adharma. Arjuna is proposing that when the family is destroyed, then naturally with it, the family tradition is destroyed. Here we're talking about family traditions according to the Brahmin caste, Kshatriya caste, especially these two castes, or actually the Sanskrit word is varna, they upheld the culture in varnashram society. This idea that one is a Brahmana by birth or a Kshatriya by birth, that is not wholly true, but certainly the Kshatriya blood was transmitted in each generation. So Arjuna was saying that if the family is totally destroyed, then the family tradition will also be destroyed. And that tradition is something very wonderful. We see in modern India how the culture, I've been living in India for about 30 years now, and I've seen in one generation how the tradition is being destroyed not by the death of the family, but by the tsunami of Western culture that's coming into India, and all these very good traditions that people used to follow, they're simply being destroyed. So Arjuna was saying, is this a good thing? It cannot be a good thing. That these traditions, these religious traditions that are passed down from generation to generation, if the elders of the family are wiped out, then the family tradition will be destroyed. So we see that Srimad Bhagavad Gita is part of the Mahabharata, the most important part of the Mahabharata, and one of the family traditions was that the family elders would teach, or they'd tell the stories of the Mahabharata to the young children. The grandparents would tell the young children. And in this way, it's a lot of fun to hear. There's so many wonderful stories. But the stories are also very educational. Educational means not simply to learn ABC 1, 2, 3. That is not real education. Education means for character building. So by hearing the stories of Mahabharata, we will learn. If we learn in the very childhood, we hear these stories, we shall learn what is right, what is wrong, how we have to act for a higher cause, how we should not act simply for our own selfishness. What is the result of acting properly, even in a case of severe difficulty? There are so many instances. The story of Harishchandra comes to mind, how even in the most difficult of circumstances, he stuck to the truth, despite everything.